Good evening, everyone. I stand before you today to speak about something that we've all struggled with at some point in our lives, the temptation to go back to what hurt us. We've all been there. The people, the situations, the toxic cycles that we know are not good for us. But the pull to return to what's familiar can be overwhelming. But let me remind you today, your future is too precious, your purpose too important, and your peace too valuable to go back. You were created for more than just surviving. You were made to thrive. So I'm here to tell you, never take them back. Not the person who broke you, not the environment that stifled you, and certainly not the mindset that kept you small. It's time to let go, to step forward into the greatness that lies ahead. Let's talk about how we can break free, reclaim our power, and move toward the life we were always meant to live. Letting go of the past can feel like one of the hardest things to do, especially when memories linger, emotions are tangled, and the idea of holding on to what was feels safer than stepping into the unknown. However, holding on to the past can often be more damaging than letting go. We become chained to the past, to people, places, and situations that no longer serve us, and we fail to realize that the weight we carry limits our ability to move forward. The past holds power over us only if we allow it to. It can be a comfort zone, even if that comfort is unhealthy. It's familiar, and the uncertainty of change feels daunting. But while it may seem easier to stay attached to what you know, you must remember that growth cannot happen when you are clinging to what is behind you. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a heavy backpack. You may keep moving, but the weight slows you down, and you'll never reach the finish line with all that baggage holding you back. The past isn't just about relationships or situations. It's also about mindsets and beliefs that have been ingrained in you over time. These mental patterns, often born from past experiences, can trap us in a cycle of negative thinking and self-doubt. We may replay old mistakes, rehash old conversations, or hold on to grudges that prevent us from healing. It's important to realize that holding on to the past in any form is essentially denying yourself the opportunity to evolve. When you choose to let go of the past, you open yourself to new possibilities. You create space for the present moment and the future to unfold in ways you never imagined. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to define who you become tomorrow. But the only way to step into that potential is by releasing the grip of old attachments. That means letting go of past hurt, disappointment, and even guilt. You aren't dishonoring your past by releasing it. Instead, you're honoring the lessons it taught you and the strength you gained from overcoming it. There's a form of healing that can only happen when we stop revisiting past wounds. Every time you return to old pain, you give it the power to continue to hurt you. You relive the emotions, you replay the actions, and you re-traumatize yourself. It keeps you stuck in a loop of regret and bitterness. But when you decide to let go, when you choose to stop looking backward, you begin to heal in ways that allow you to move forward, stronger and more resilient than before. Letting go isn't always a one-time decision. It's an ongoing process of recognizing when the past is resurfacing in your thoughts, emotions, or actions, and choosing time and time again to release it. You must actively decide that what happened before does not have the authority to control your life now. It's about creating new habits, new ways of thinking, and new perspectives that align with who you are becoming. Another powerful aspect of releasing the past is the freedom it brings. When you let go, you free yourself from the need for validation from people who may not have treated you well or from situations that didn't go as planned. You stop seeking closure from external sources and instead find peace within yourself. You begin to understand that closure doesn't always come in the form of an apology or a resolution. Sometimes closure is simply choosing to move on even without the answers you thought you needed. It's not about forgetting or pretending that the past didn't happen. It's about refusing to let it continue to dictate your present and future. When you release the past, you free yourself from its grip and allow your true potential to emerge. You choose to trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind. And with that trust comes the courage to let go of the things, people, and situations that no longer belong in your life. Knowing your worth is one of the most transformative realizations you can make in your life. Too often we find ourselves in situations where we settle for less than we deserve, whether it's in relationships, careers, or personal goals. This happens because we either fail to recognize our value or let others define it for us. When you truly understand and embrace your worth, it shifts your perspective, empowering you to make choices that align with your highest potential. Recognizing your worth isn't about arrogance or pride. It's about knowing that you are inherently valuable and deserving of respect, love, and success. It's about understanding that your value isn't contingent on external validation, achievements, or the approval of others. The moment you begin to appreciate who you are, regardless of your past mistakes or shortcomings, you start to set boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. You stop settling for situations that don't align with your goals or values, and instead you make decisions that propel you forward. One of the key reasons many people struggle to recognize their worth is because of the conditioning they've experienced throughout their lives. From a young age, society, family, and peers may have placed limits on what they believe is possible for them. These external voices often make us question our abilities, diminish our self-esteem, and make us feel as though we need to seek validation from others to feel worthy. Over time, we internalize these beliefs and allow them to shape our decisions. We begin to seek approval or chase after things that we think will make us feel good enough, but none of that truly addresses the root of the issue, our internal belief in our own worth. Once you start to recognize your value, the way you show up in the world changes. You stop tolerating disrespect, mistreatment, or mediocrity. You no longer tolerate people who take advantage of you, situations that drain your energy, or environments that limit your growth. You begin to surround yourself with people who encourage you, support you, and challenge you to be the best version of yourself. Knowing your worth means choosing to prioritize your well-being, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. You no longer wait for others to give you permission to take up space in the world because you know you deserve it. Self-worth is also a key element in the way you handle failure and setbacks. It's easy to let your value be tied to your achievements or how others perceive you. But when you understand that your worth isn't based on what you accomplish or how others judge you, it allows you to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. You become resilient. You understand that mistakes are part of the growth process and they don't define who you are. You learn to give yourself grace, to acknowledge your progress, and to celebrate how far you've come, rather than focusing on how far you still need to go. When you truly know your worth, you're no longer willing to sacrifice your happiness for temporary comfort or fleeting approval. You stop chasing after people, situations, or things that don't align with your purpose. You begin to trust yourself more, trusting that the choices you make come from a place of strength, not insecurity. You stop trying to prove yourself to others and start living in a way that reflects your true identity. This shift in mindset allows you to attract more of what you deserve, authentic relationships, opportunities that align with your values, and a deeper sense of fulfillment in every area of your life. In addition to this, recognizing your worth also means taking responsibility for your life. It's about understanding that you are the one who gets to determine your future. It's easy to blame others or external circumstances for our struggles, but when you know your worth, you accept that you have the power to create the life you want. This doesn't mean everything will be easy, but it does mean that you believe in your ability to overcome challenges and create opportunities for yourself. The journey to recognizing your worth is not always instant, and it's something you have to continue cultivating over time. It requires self-reflection, patience, and a commitment to growth. It requires letting go of the voices in your head that tell you you're not enough and replacing them with the truth that you are worthy, not because of anything you've done, but because of who you are. Your worth is inherent, and once you realize that, nothing in the world can make you doubt it again. Embracing change is one of the most powerful steps you can take in your personal growth journey. Change is inevitable, yet many of us resist it because it challenges our comfort zones, disrupts our routine, and introduces uncertainty. We often fear change because it requires us to let go of what we know, and stepping into the unknown feels uncomfortable. However, without change, there is no room for progress. Embracing change means accepting that in order to evolve, we must be willing to leave behind what no longer serves us and open ourselves to new possibilities. One of the biggest barriers to embracing change is the fear of failure. We worry about making the wrong decision or that the change will lead to disappointment or loss. But in reality, change often brings growth and opportunity, even when it doesn't unfold exactly as we expected. Change forces us to adapt, to stretch beyond what we thought was possible, and to develop skills and resilience that we didn't know we had. Failure, when viewed through the lens of change, is not an end, but a stepping stone, a lesson that teaches us what works and what doesn't, guiding us towards success. Often we remain stuck in familiar situations, relationships, or environments simply because we fear what's on the other side of change. We get comfortable in our current circumstances, even if they are less than ideal, because they are predictable. The fear of the unknown can paralyze us, keeping us from making the choices that would move us forward. But the reality is that staying in the same place emotionally, mentally, or physically keeps us stagnant. Change, although difficult at times, is necessary for our growth and expansion. It challenges us to rethink our priorities, question our assumptions, and open ourselves to new opportunities. Embracing change requires us to develop a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities for transformation. When you accept that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace, you start to see it as a necessary part of your journey. Every change you experience, whether it's a new job, the end of a relationship, a shift in your goals, or a change in your personal circumstances, brings with it a chance to evolve and improve. These experiences help you learn more about yourself, your strengths, and your ability to overcome adversity. Rather than seeing change as a threat, you begin to see it as a gift that opens the door to new beginnings and possibilities. One of the key aspects of embracing change is letting go of the attachment to outcomes. Many of us become fixated on a specific vision of how things should unfold. We plan, strategize, and hold on to a certain picture of success. However, life is rarely linear, and often the path to achieving our goals is filled with unexpected twists and turns. Embracing change means learning to flow with life's unpredictability. It means being flexible enough to adjust when things don't go according to plan, and trusting that the detours are leading you to where you need to be. When we cling too tightly to one idea of how things should look, we limit ourselves and close off opportunities that could be even better than what we initially imagined. Adapting to change also requires a level of emotional resilience. It can be challenging to let go of the familiar, especially when the change brings feelings of loss or uncertainty. But by learning to navigate the emotional ups and downs that come with change, we become stronger and more capable of handling future challenges. Embracing change doesn't mean that it won't be difficult. It means that you are willing to face the discomfort and trust that you will grow from the experience. As we embrace change, we also open ourselves to growth in new areas of our lives. Change often forces us to confront our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. It pushes us to question old patterns of thinking and behaving and to step into new ways of being. Whether it's taking on a new role, moving to a new city, or pursuing a new passion, change brings with it the opportunity to redefine who we are and what we are capable of. It invites us to expand our horizons and explore parts of ourselves that we might have neglected or overlooked. Through change, we discover our potential for reinvention and transformation. Ultimately, embracing change is an act of courage. It's a willingness to trust in the process of life, even when we don't have all the answers. It's the belief that we are capable of navigating whatever comes our way, and that change, though often uncomfortable, will always lead us to a better version of ourselves. Change is not the enemy. It is the catalyst for the life we've always dreamed of. When we choose to embrace it, we step into our power, unlocking a world of possibility and opportunity. Protecting your peace is one of the most essential acts of self-care you can practice. In a world that constantly demands more from us, where external noise and pressures often take precedence, it becomes easy to overlook our own mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. We find ourselves pulled in multiple directions, trying to meet the expectations of others, or simply reacting to situations, rather than consciously choosing how we want to show up in our lives. This neglect of our inner peace can lead to burnout, stress, and a deep sense of frustration. However, protecting your peace is a powerful choice that allows you to maintain balance, clarity, and emotional stability, no matter what's happening around you. The first step in protecting your peace is understanding what it truly means. It's not just about avoiding conflict or running from uncomfortable situations. Protecting your peace is about being intentional with your energy, setting healthy boundaries, and creating space in your life for things that nourish and strengthen you. It's a proactive approach to life, choosing to prioritize your own mental and emotional health over external demands that can overwhelm you. The world will often try to take from you, but it's your responsibility to hold on to what matters most, your peace. A major aspect of protecting your peace involves learning how to say no. It's easy to become people pleasers, saying yes to everything out of a desire to be liked or out of fear of disappointing others. However, constantly saying yes without considering your own needs can quickly drain your energy, leaving you feeling resentful, overwhelmed, and disconnected from yourself. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring your need for rest, space, and personal time. When you protect your peace by saying no, you create the time and energy to say yes to things that align with your values and goals. Boundaries play a vital role in preserving your inner peace. When you set healthy boundaries, you communicate your needs and protect your emotional well-being. Boundaries prevent others from overstepping into your personal space or imposing their stress, negativity, or demands on you. Boundaries are not meant to create walls, but to create a clear and respectful space between you and others. By protecting your peace through boundaries, you are actively taking care of yourself and ensuring that you can give your best without feeling depleted. Equally important is the ability to recognize what influences your peace, both positively and negatively. We are often influenced by the people around us, whether they bring joy and support or stress and negativity. It's essential to evaluate the relationships in your life and assess whether they are contributing to your peace or draining it. Sometimes we hold on to relationships out of obligation, guilt, or fear of loneliness, even when these connections are harmful to our emotional and mental well-being. Protecting your peace means being willing to let go of toxic relationships, whether they are with family, friends, or colleagues. This may be one of the most difficult decisions to make, but it is often necessary for your growth and well-being. Protecting your peace also means taking control of your own thoughts and emotions. It's easy to become consumed by negativity, worrying about things that are outside of our control, or ruminating on past mistakes or future uncertainties. But when you allow yourself to dwell on these things, you give up your peace. By practicing mindfulness and cultivating self-awareness, you can shift your focus back to the present moment, recognizing that worrying about things that are beyond your control doesn't serve you. Learning to reframe negative thoughts, practicing gratitude, and choosing positivity can help protect your peace, even in the midst of challenging circumstances. Another powerful way to protect your peace is by engaging in practices that nurture your spirit. Whether it's prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in nature, engaging in activities that center you allows you to reconnect with your inner self and reset your energy. These practices create a sense of calm and balance that shields you from external chaos. Taking care of your mental and emotional health isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity for maintaining peace in a world that often feels overwhelming. Finally, protecting your peace means accepting that not everything in life will be perfect or go according to plan. There will be challenges and disruptions that test your patience and resilience. However, how you respond to these challenges is within your control. You have the power to choose your reactions and protect your peace by staying grounded, focused, and intentional in how you handle adversity. Life will continue to present challenges, but when you protect your peace, you are better equipped to navigate them with grace and strength without losing yourself in the process. Trusting your future is one of the most important choices you can make in your journey toward personal growth and fulfillment. It's easy to become bogged down by the mistakes of the past, the uncertainties of the present, and the fears about what lies ahead. The unknown can feel intimidating, and when things don't go according to plan, it's natural to question whether the future will be any different. However, Trusting your future requires a shift in perspective, a belief that despite the obstacles you may face, you have the ability to shape your life and that better days are ahead. When you trust your future, you allow yourself to step into a space of possibility, knowing that the challenges of today are not permanent and that they don't define you. It's understanding that where you are right now is only a moment in time, not the sum of your entire journey. Too often, we become so consumed with the current difficulties we face that we fail to see the bigger picture. We forget that we are constantly evolving, and with each step forward, we are moving closer to the person we are meant to be. Trusting your future means believing in the potential of what lies ahead. It's the understanding that your experiences, your knowledge, and the lessons you've learned up to this point have been preparing you for something greater. You may not know exactly what your future looks like, and that's okay, because trust is not about having all the answers. It's about having faith in your ability to navigate what comes your way and knowing that the skills and strengths you've built along the way will carry you through. It's about leaning into the unknown with confidence, even when the road ahead isn't clear. One of the most powerful ways to build trust in your future is by releasing the need for perfection. So often, we become paralyzed by the idea that everything must go according to plan. We create rigid expectations for ourselves and hold ourselves to impossible standards. When things don't work out as expected, it's easy to feel like we've failed or that our future is uncertain. But true trust in your future comes from the understanding that life is not a straight path. There will be detours, setbacks, and unexpected turns, but each of these experiences is part of the process. Embracing imperfections and seeing them as opportunities for growth allows you to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trusting your future also means letting go of the need to control every outcome. Many of us struggle with control because it provides a sense of security. We want to know exactly how things will turn out, and we fear the uncertainty of not being able to predict what's next. However, holding on too tightly to control can cause stress and anxiety, preventing us from seeing the opportunities that arise. Trusting your future is about surrendering to the flow of life, allowing things to unfold naturally, and understanding that some things are simply beyond our control. By accepting this truth, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities that you may have otherwise missed. Another key to trusting your future is developing resilience. Life can throw unexpected challenges your way, and it's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, trusting your future is rooted in the belief that no matter what happens, you will have the strength to rise again. Resilience is about learning to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt to change, and to keep moving forward, even when things feel difficult. It's about understanding that while you may not be able to control what happens to you, you always have the power to decide how you respond. Building resilience allows you to trust that you can handle whatever the future holds. Trusting your future also involves making decisions today that align with your long-term goals. It's easy to get caught up in the distractions of the present moment, but when you trust your future, you make choices that will benefit you in the long run. This might mean making sacrifices in the short term or stepping outside of your comfort zone to pursue your dreams. Trusting your future requires having the courage to invest in yourself, even when the results are not immediately visible. Every action you take today is a step toward creating the future you want. Even small choices like focusing on your personal development or prioritizing your health contribute to a future that reflects your true potential. The journey of trusting your future isn't always easy. It requires patience, faith, and the ability to stay grounded during times of uncertainty. But the more you trust in your own ability to create the life you desire, the more you will begin to see the fruits of that trust in your life. You'll start to notice opportunities that align with your vision, and you'll realize that the obstacles you've faced have only prepared you for the success and growth that lies ahead. Trusting your future is about knowing that no matter what happens, you are on the right path and your best days are still to come. In conclusion, the journey to embracing your full potential starts with the powerful choices you make every single day. Letting go of the past, recognizing your worth, embracing change, protecting your peace, and trusting your future are not just concepts. They are actions that shape your life. Each step you take toward releasing what no longer serves you, setting boundaries, and believing in the possibilities ahead brings you closer to the person you were always meant to be. The challenges you face are not roadblocks, but opportunities to grow. And with each hurdle, you gain the strength and wisdom needed to move forward. As you continue to walk in your power, remember that you are worthy of the peace, joy, and success you seek. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and above all, trust that a brighter future is waiting for you.